This is the arena, Charlotte Motor Speedway in Charlotte, North Carolina. The full gamut of emotions will be displayed here today, and the name of the game is the World 600. After a week of cold, rainy weather, Sunday, May 28th, brought forth a package of sunshine and thermometer readings in the 70s. It was an ideal day for the World 600. A near 85,000 race fans began their trek to the track at 6 a.m. The infield was closed at 9. It was a sellout by 11. The Chevy fans were here in force. This year, their boy was Bobby Allison. With the fastest qualifying time, he had the pole position. But right behind him were the wildest Dodges, Fords, Plymouths, and Mercurys, piloted by the hottest stock car drivers in the world. And no matter how you cut it, 600 miles is a long way to go. On the outside of Allison, it was number 21, David Pearson, in a Mercury. The second row saw two Dodges, Bobby Isaac in 71 and Jim Vandiver in 31. Joe Frizon and Buddy Baker had the third row. Then it was Cuckoo Marlin and Dave Marcus. Richard Petty and Fred Lorenzen qualified 9th and 10th, filling out the fifth row. And this 40-car field revs up, ready for the start. There's the green flag, and the World 600 is underway. Allison fires off the pole to take the lead in turn one, with Pearson and Isaac pressing hard. Down the back chute, David tries him on the low side and passes to take over the lead. Here's the end of the first lap, and with all cars wound out, the Carolinas rocked with the sound of power. It's Pearson in number 21, Allison in 12, and the Dodge Charger number 71, driven by Bobby Isaac, is moving up. In the third turn, Isaac does it the hard way. He challenges Allison on the outside, and out of the fourth turn, he passes to take over second. Only 4 laps into the race, and already there's no doubt in anyone's mind that Bobby Isaac came here to run. And he outpunches Pearson down the back chute to take over the lead. That big red Charger is now number 1. Onto the tri-oval, Allison moves his Chevy around Pearson on the outside and goes back into second place. On the 11th lap, Vandiver hits his number 31 Dodge with transmission problems. He's followed by Dave Boggs in number 57. It's Isaac, Allison, Pearson, 1, 2, and 3. Buddy Baker is fourth and closing fast. He's driving the fire red Dodge number 11. Down the front chute, Buddy stands on it, passes Pearson, and moves into third. Baker is hot today, and down the back chute passes Allison to grab the second spot. Now the Dodgers are running 1 and 2. Baker and Allison are both wound out trying to catch Bobby Isaac, but he's got a good lead and seems to be stretching it. On the 46th lap, Richard Petty pulls into the pits for his first stop of the day. He takes on fuel and right side rubber. The crew have him out in 21 seconds. So far, the average speed is 154.065, a new track record. These drivers have not paced themselves since the green flag. Instead, it's a flat-out run for the money. And Bobby Isaac, the leader, was just clocked at 162 miles an hour. Charlotte takes its toll of tires, and the leaders are forced to pit. Here's Buddy Baker. David Pearson brings the Purolator Mercury in, and the Wood brothers go to work. Bobby Allison wheels the Junior Johnson prepared Chevrolet in for fuel and 2 right side tires. They do a beautiful job and have him out in 19 seconds. With all cars serviced and back on the track, Bobby Allison has the lead. Pearson is second with Isaac third. Down the back chute, Bobby Isaac slips underneath Pearson, takes over second, and screams toward Bobby Allison. The crowd goes wild as Isaac catches Allison and roars past to regain his lead. If that car stays glued together, he could be the boy in victory lane. Suddenly, it happens. McDuffie blows and spins in turn 3. At the same time, Dave Marcus loses control of his Matador, number 16, brushes the wall on the front grandstand, and slides down into the infield grass. It was later learned that the car had a broken strut arm. David Pearson leads them down for the restart. There's the green, and they're off. Down the back chute, it's Pearson. Bobby Allison running second. Baker is third with Bobby Isaac fourth. That makes it Mercury, Chevy, Dodge, Dodge. Coming into turn 2, Pearson drops into the low groove. Allison and Baker go high, and in the corner, Bobby Allison's Chevy takes the lead. Down the back chute, Buddy Baker puts the nose of that Dodge between Pearson and the wall, following Allison through the hole to take over the second spot. Within a half a lap, Davy Pearson goes from first to third. Look out, there goes Oliver. Jackie Oliver just blew the guts out of his Ford in the third turn, spun all the way around through 4, and careened off the wall. Here's that same accident from a different angle. As Jackie comes off the wall, watch John Sears in the number 4 Plymouth as he ducks down low to avoid hitting Oliver. A fantastic piece of driving, and the crowd gives him a tremendous ovation. It's the 125th lap, and the second yellow flag of the day is out. Most of the field grabs this chance to dive into the pits. Now, we'll give you a chance to watch some of the greatest and fastest auto servicing in the world. Many of the cars got new rubber all the way around. They all received a full tank of fuel, clean windshields, and the drivers got a drink. Stops averaged 25 seconds. Down for the restart, it's Benny Parsons, Cuckoo Marlin, Buddy Baker, and Bobby Allison. Once again, the green flag, and they're underway. Down the back chute, Buddy Baker turns that Hemi Charger loose to take the lead. Into turn one, Bobby Allison pushes the Coca-Cola Special into second place and begins closing on Baker. Both cars enter turn three, brushing fenders. Allison stands on it and roars underneath Baker to grab the lead. And this is what the Chevy fans came to see. Allison is pouring it on now, trying to stretch Baker and David Pearson, who has the third spot. Bobby Isaac has slipped back to fourth, and Joe Frazan is running fifth. Pearson was just clocked on the tri-oval at over 160 miles per hour. He moves up on Baker and tries for second, but Buddy staves him off. He couldn't make it on the inside, so coming into turn two, he wheels the big Mercury to the outside, and David Pearson owns the second place spot. Dave Marcus drives his second car behind the wall. When he crashed in the Matador, he jumped into his Dodge. But now the Charger has a burned piston, so Dave will watch the rest of this one. Here's Buddy Baker wheeling his Petty engineered Dodge in for fuel and tire. David Pearson comes in right behind him for the same reason. As the number of laps go up, so does the attrition rate. Cuckoo Marlin's Chevy is pushed behind the wall with a faulty oil pan. Bobby Isaac brings his Dodge in to fill up the tank. On this stop, he tells crew chief Harry Hyde that the car is not running well. It's lost some of the top-end punch. The next time in, they may go under the hood. Here's the leader, Bobby Allison, in for one of the fastest pit stops of the day. Herb Knabb and the crew have him back on the track in 21 seconds. Later, Bobby Isaac is back in the pits. This time they try an adjustment in the suspension to give him better handling. His lap speed has dropped to around 155. On the track, Bobby Allison has that Chevy running beautifully and continues to stretch the entire field. Pearson and Baker are running second and third, while Bobby Isaac gamely holds on to fourth in a sick Dodge Charger. Uh-oh, this could mean trouble for Pearson. He claimed he could smell the car overheating. When he checked the gauge, he knew it and pulled in. The Wood brothers go under the hood. They find the trouble in a broken radiator hose. But when they spray water on the hot engine, the block cracks, and one of the top contenders for victory lane goes behind the wall, out of the race. On the last lap, they just clocked Bobby Allison's Monte Carlo at 166 miles an hour. Right now, it looks like he owns the track. Buddy Baker is second, and with Pearson out, Isaac moves up to third. There it goes. Bobby Isaac's chance for the pot of gold just went up in a cloud of smoke. Later, they found the problem to be burned valves. The boy from Catawba, North Carolina, who led most of the race in the earlier laps, climbs out of the car, his face clearly reflecting the disappointment of defeat. Bobby Allison, driving the Chevrolet Monte Carlo, is the leader on the 310th lap. Buddy Baker, driving the Petty Dodge, is running second, with teammate Richard in the third spot. Allison was just clocked at 160 and Baker at 162. Buddy is flat out and closing the gap. The battle is on. Cecil Gordon brings his number 24 Mercury in for left side rubber and fuel. Wendell Scott develops engine problems and they push him behind the wall. His 72 Chevy is owned by track manager Richard Howard. It was Wendell's first ride in good competitive equipment, and he did very well until he popped a piston. Look out, Petty's going high in turn 2. Richard's car has not been handling well all day, and that's the proof of it. The Dodge pushed out on him through the turn. He lost it, hit the concrete retaining wall, and spun across the track to the apron. For the rest of the 600 miles, he can root for teammate Buddy Baker. This accident brings out the third yellow flag of the day, and it looks like half the traffic in North Carolina is here in the pits. Baker leaves in a hurry and without his gas cap. But further down pit road, Jim Pascal's crew waves him down and replaces it. That's sportsmanship, thus saving Buddy a black flag and penalty. Here comes Richard Petty on foot. And his guest for the day, Hollywood star Darren McGavin, runs out to greet him. He explains to Darren how he broke his racing. And sure enough, there goes a slightly shortened version of Richard's car behind the wall and out of the race. After 9 laps under the yellow, the green flies again, and Bobby Allison screams into the lead. Buddy Baker still second, with Charlie Glotzbach moving into third. Bobby is stretching Baker through every turn. That Chevy is wound out at 163 miles an hour. Baker's speed was clocked at 160. With only 30 laps to go, Bobby Allison slows down, moves his number 12 onto the apron, and heads for pit row. Bobby tells his crew chief, Herb Nabb, that he ran over a piece of metal on the backstretch. When they check it out, they find 2 tires slashed and flat. The change to new rubber is made quickly, but in the meantime, Buddy Baker gets a full lap lead on Allison. The new leader is Buddy Baker, and he has the Chevy 1 lap down. Both cars are locked up side by side, and the fans go wild. This is the kind of racing that's made NASCAR famous. Coming onto the back straight, Bobby Allison got around Buddy. He's still second, but now he's in the same lap with Baker. The Petty crew is worried about Buddy's fuel supply. His last pit stop was on the 339th lap. That left 91 miles to the checkered flag. A full tank should just about carry him to the end. Allison tries gamely to close the gap on the leader. He's over a half a lap behind, but has Baker got enough gas to go all the way? The white flag, if he can make one more lap, he's got the big one. Here he is out of the fourth turn onto the tri-oval and screams his Dodge Charger under the checkered flag. Buddy Baker wins the Charlotte World 600. He wheels his big red Charger right to the entrance of Victory Lane and stops, because it's here that Buddy Baker ran out of gasoline. But that doesn't make much difference now. He lasted long enough to beat Bobby Allison's red-hot number 12 Chevrolet. Charlie Glotzbach finished third, Benny Parsons fourth, and Leroy Yarborough fifth. In an interview after the race, Buddy said he was very nauseated during the last 10 laps, brought on by the anticipation of winning, plus the thought of running out of fuel. His hands were blistered and bloody. Every muscle ached. He was dirty and completely exhausted. But when you get a check for almost $22,000, the World 600 Winners Trophy, and kisses from a couple of queens like this, who worries about the little things?